I've noticed in recent time, I want to say maybe the past year or two, there have been a lot more people jumping into the independent filmmaking arena. Now, me personally, someone who's been in it not that long myself, I do find it exciting. I enjoy it. I like it. I love to see individuals out there creating content. But there are a bunch of individuals not like myself who don't like it. The people who consider themselves quote unquote professionals. I am a professional, but I love to see that us people who don't traditionally have access to the big studio outlets and resources, I love to see that we're able to now compete with them. So I'm not really a gatekeeping type of person when it comes to that. But now that I've seen this, I see so many newbies are jumping into it. So many people are grabbing a cheap camera, some friends, putting together a script, and they're shooting, which is cool. It doesn't bother me one single bit. But what I've noticed is that a lot of you guys don't know what you're doing. So you're jumping head on into this field and you're making a lot of mistakes, or you're making moves that don't work in your best interest. One of the things that I see people struggle with is their release schedule. When you release your project, right, after you've shot everything, you've edited, scored, colored, etc., now you have to plan your actual release. And this is something that I got from a distributor myself. Now, I've talked about this before, where you may think that the best thing to do is just release your movie everywhere, right? Now, that works for major studio releases. When they release a movie, put it everywhere, just let it flood. But here's the other thing. If you think about it, major studios don't really put it everywhere. They put it everywhere in theaters. They don't put it on television at the same time. They don't put it on Disney and streaming services at the same time. They don't put it on Tubi at the same time. No, they put it all in theaters first. Why? Because that is where they're going to collect their money. If they release the movie everywhere, in theaters, on Tubi, on YouTube, on other streaming platforms, guess what would happen? The majority of people would watch it in the places that is easiest for them or cheapest for them. That's the same mentality when it comes to releasing your independent film. As it stands, Tubi is still one of the top paying platforms for independent filmmakers. Now, there is this dilemma that some of you face. I don't face it because this is business. But a lot of you face this dilemma because you're new. You're just getting into this. It's not like you're 10 movies in, 20 movies in. This is your first time getting in. So you get caught up in this stigma. You get caught up on what people are saying. Oh, your movie's on Tubi? Ha ha ha, he. You get caught up in that, which to me doesn't make a lot of sense because Tubi has over 100 million monthly active users, which makes it number 5 on the list of all the streaming platforms on the planet. They're in the top 10 and not 10. On top of that, Tubi has the largest library of movies and TV shows and documentaries than any other streaming platform. And for those of you who don't know, they have partnerships or channels with TMZ, NFL, MLB, Kevin Hart, Deion Sanders. The list goes on. So this is a business move. Tubi is not some jokey ass streaming platform. So for you who let people who are not even in the business influence you on how you deal with Tubi or how you perceive Tubi, that's ridiculous. But I understand a lot of you are newbies. You're not business people. You're not filmmakers. You're not looking at the bottom line. You're not looking at the bottom dollar. You're just concerned about what your peers say. Some of you are making movies because you want to be cool. Some of you are making movies because you want to tell somebody, I made a movie. You don't think about how you're going to make your money back. You don't think about how you're going to market it. You're not thinking about how you're going to grow your company. You're not thinking about any of that. All you're thinking about is the street accolades. All you're thinking about is what your cousin is going to say, what your friend is going to say, what the person at the store is going to say. So you chase down, ooh, can I get it on Netflix? Ooh, can I get it on Hulu? Hulu? Tubi has twice as many viewers as Hulu. why would you want to go to Hulu? You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of you have this mentality of a new person in the field. And I try to educate you. I try my damn hardest to give you guys real factual information. You want to be on Netflix? Let me tell you something. Kudos to the people that make it on Netflix. And kudos to the people that make it on Netflix and make big money. But the majority of you, you don't want to be on Netflix because of the money. You don't care. You want to be on Netflix just to say, I'm on Netflix. I'm on Amazon Prime. I'm on Hulu. You just want to say that? Does that make any sense? Like, would you take a job, let's say, working at Apple, and they were paying you like $20 a week? Would you take that job just because you can say, I work at Apple? Or how about this, Tyler Perry Studios? Would you take that job just to say, I work at Tyler Perry Studios, if they offered you $50 a week, but then YouTube Studios says, we'll pay you $500 a week. We'll pay you $1,500 a week. You would work at Tyler Perry Studios for $50 a week instead of working at YouTube for $1,500 a week? That doesn't make any sense. And some of you would. Some of you would take it. And you'd be like, oh, well, blah, 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 whatever it is. But in that scenario, I'm not doing that. Now, don't get me wrong. I will go work somewhere for a low amount of money for the opportunity, but that's only if there's not another better opportunity. We're talking about you guys want to be on a platform that doesn't pay anything versus being on a platform that pays well because you just want to say, I'm on this platform. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. I made a whole nother video where I talk about the difference between Netflix and Tubi and the payout. So you can watch that one and see exactly what I'm saying. I'll either put it in a link above or I'll put it at the end of the video. But you guys have to use your brain. This is business. If you're not in it for business, then go ahead. Do whatever you're going to do. But if you're a business person, if you're a filmmaker and you're trying to stop doing what you're doing as a 9-to-5, or you're trying to make this your 9-to-5, if you're passionate about this, then just do the things that make sense. Don't worry about, oh, they said it's a Tubi movie. So what? Who cares? Who said it's a Tubi movie? Somebody that goes to Foot Locker every day? Somebody who's packing bags at Walmart is telling you that your movie is a Tubi movie and you're concerned about that person's opinion? All right. Hey, that's on you, not me. Okay. Now let me get back to what I was saying. As far as it comes to release schedule, right? It may seem like it makes sense to just put it everywhere, but it doesn't. What you want to do is stagger your release outlets, stagger the channels and the networks, or at the very least, you want to stagger how you promote it, right? Because here's the thing. If Tubi is paying the most, and let's use it as an analogy, let's say Tubi is paying you $7 for every 1,000 people that look at your movie. And Amazon is paying you $2 for every 1,000 people that look at your movie. That means if 2,000 people look at it, you're going to make $4 with Amazon and you're going to make $14 with Tubi. Financially speaking, business-minded. What do you think is the better place for people to watch your movie for you, business-wise? Tubi. Correct. So it's the same thing, but here's where it gets tricky. Because if you put it on Amazon, yeah, you can brag to your friends at Walmart, hey, I'm on Amazon. And all of the people go watch it on Amazon because you were too afraid to say, I'm on Tubi. You were too afraid to push Tubi and not push Amazon because you wanted to impress your friend at Piggly Wiggly's. You wanted to impress your friend that works at the dollar store by saying my movie's on Amazon. Okay. 10,000 people could watch your movie on Amazon because we all got Amazon, right? We're familiar with Amazon. It's easy. There's still some people that don't have Tubi or don't use Tubi as much as they use Amazon. Amazon has groceries. Amazon has books. Amazon has gadgets. Amazon has movies. Amazon has everything. You can buy car parts and you could buy organic apple juice in the same place and get a book to read or a tablet to read it on. Like, okay, we get it. So people are more comfortable and familiar with Amazon. They use it. So if you tell these people, hey, my movie's on Amazon, they're going to go watch it on Amazon. And you're going to make less money than if you bottleneck and force people to watch your movie on Tubi, right? Think of it like a club. It's one club, $2 to get in. Another club is $10 to get in. You open at the same time, offering the same thing. Oh, we got a concert, Cardi B over here. We got a concert with Cardi B over here. People are going to go over there. And that's what you're doing to your movie when you release it on these other platforms at the same time as Tubi. Now, there is a method that people try to use, and it works for some people, is they will release it on Amazon first, only behind a paywall. So they'll release their movie and say, hey, you get to watch the movie, it's $9.99 to rent, to own, whatever. And they hope that people buy it. But if you don't have the traffic, if you don't have the fan base, if you haven't spent thousands on your marketing to drive people to that, to build up the anticipation, then chances are you're not going to make a lot of money there. You're not going to make a significant amount of money by putting up a paywall and putting it on Amazon. Now, if you're doing the work, if you're pushing your movie and you've got that all set up and you're driving traffic there, driving your audience there, then yes, it could possibly work for you. But that is a method that involves a paywall. It's not the free version where people can just watch it for free. So the release schedule would go Amazon first, make people pay for it. After you've been up there, you wait till it trickles, then you release it to Tubi. And then Tubi is where you get the bulk of your money. You let that run for 6 months to 12 months. Then you announce that you release it somewhere else. Hey, you can watch my movie on Fawsome. You can watch my movie on one of these other channels I can't think of right now. But that is how the blueprint usually goes for independent film release. But if you're not doing that paywall, don't waste your time doing that. And by announcing 10 or 12 different channels, you're thinking, oh, I look good, I look successful, my movie is all over the place. Maybe, but what you're doing is you're killing your own money. Because if people know or think or believe that you can only watch your movie in one place, that's where they're going to watch it. And since Tubi is free, it doesn't really hurt anybody to just go watch the movie. All you have to do is market and promote it. But if you say, oh, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, people are more than likely going to choose the platform that they're most comfortable or most familiar with. Me, I watch different things. I'm on Amazon a lot. So if it is on Amazon, I might watch it on Amazon. If it's on YouTube, I might watch it on YouTube. If it's on Facebook, I might watch it over there on Facebook. So you're giving people these options if you just release it everywhere and you announce it everywhere. It's not a good business move. And I got that directly from one of the first distributors that I met, because I talked to them and I said, hey, I want my movie everywhere. And they explained this exact thing to me. They said, you don't want to do that because you're hurting the amount of money that you can make. You want to release it and promote it first at the place that is going to pay you the most. And then when that trickles down, then you, boom, release it to the next place and you start another leg of your marketing and promotion. It gives you another reason to say, hey, we're back and we're now on XYZ streaming channel. So that's a piece of information that I wanted to share with a lot of you newbies. And I guess some of you who are on your second or third film, right? Think about your release and plan it. Everything is important. I just told somebody the other day, right? Everything you're doing on the ground level is going to affect. Sometimes it can be a large effect, and sometimes it can be a small effect. Sometimes it can be something that it has an effect, but not enough to kill the momentum of your movie. And then sometimes it can be a big mistake that does kill the momentum of your movie. So just keep that in mind. How you release your movie is very, very important to the success of your movie, the business success. Don't worry about what people are saying. That is completely insignificant. All right, thank you for watching. Tell a friend, please share the information, and I will see you next time. Thank you. And remember, 6-figure filmmaking. Think outside the box and stay creative.